Pete says, would you like it if we picked Chauncey Gardner-Johnson? You bet I would. He'd be a fantastic pick. That's also why I don't think he's going to be there at number 58 overall. In my last mock draft that I did for Chat Sports, he went in the first round. DJ47, do you think Kellen Moore can be our version of Sean McVay? That's what the Cowboys are hoping for. I think that's what we're all hoping for. A, he needs to grow a beard because that's a key part of the Sean McVay vibe, I think. I'm hopeful. Let's just put it that way. I want to see how things look in the preseason for Kellen Moore because I am very curious how much he gets to actually do relative within the constructs of the Jason Garrett offensive scheme. Lost Limbs, would it be a good idea to pick up Parris Campbell if there's any chance he's still there? Sure. I think the Cowboys need more speed. Parris Campbell, Andy Isabella, both those dudes can fly. So sign me up for that one in the end. If he's there at 58, I think he'd be a quality pick. Kyle Clements, do you see us going after Landon Collins? I kind of think Landon's going to be as expensive, if not more, than Earl Thompson's demands right now. So I lean towards no. But I do think it would make some sense to at least call, and I'm sure the Cowboys will call. Again, we can freak out if we want based on a report that the Cowboys had no interest in Earl Thomas or Collins or Weddle, which really was deceptive because it's price dependent. If the price comes down for Collins, yes, but Dallas will not spend 15 or 14 million on a safety. They're just not going to do it. What round do you think Hunter Renfrow gets drafted in? I'd say mid to late day 3. He's not going to go that early. He's not the same athlete that other slot guys like Andy Isabella this year are. So I think Renfrow goes a little bit later. Nathan Day says no Andy Isabella in round 2. I thought about it. I really did. But I remember from doing previous mock drafts on the simulator that I can get a receiver later. It's a lot harder to find a safety later. So if Savage was off the board, I would have gone with Andy Isabella. That's just from my mindset there. So a fair point, Nathan, because I'm all aboard Isabella in round 2. We have a super chat, by the way, from Brayden Bennison. Just $1. Thank you, man. Again, if you guys do a super chat, we'll get you on air. I promise that. Here's an oldie but a goodie. Jordan Thomas cut Sean Lee. Bring in Navarro Bowman. Navarro Bowman's 2018 was weird because he should have been signed, and no one signed him. He's been out of football for a year. I'm fine with cutting Sean Lee, but I don't think bringing in Navarro Bowman is the answer right now either. Z Power Stroke 99. What is the likelihood of Dallas ever getting Sean Payton as a coach? I mean, never say never, right? If and when Jason Garrett gets fired, Sean Payton is at the very top of the list. He is the number one guy for Jerry Jones, for Cowboys fans everywhere, for the front office in general. That said, a lot of things do need to happen. So I'm not going to bank on it right now. I'll worry about Payton when Garrett, if and when he gets fired, the Cowboys have a disastrous 2019. But until then, just keep it in the back of your minds. From Nasir, why not pick up Terrell Suggs for help at defensive end? I think that he's going to stay with the Ravens. Now, I'm somewhat intrigued by Suggs. He has spent most of his career in a 3-4 scheme, but he come in on passing downs only, so that wouldn't really matter too much. If he wants to leave Baltimore, I'd call. I'd have some interest, but I don't really know if he's going to want to leave. Joshua Stallard says, Tom, are you my long-lost dad? I hope not. I hope I'm not. No offense, Joshua, but I hope I don't have a kid that I don't know about out there. Brian Prather, I don't get it, Tom. Why do people like Tavon? He hasn't done anything. I don't get it. Speaking the truth here, Tavon's fast, and that's valuable for the Cowboys. That matters for the Cowboys because they don't have enough speed. So he's never going to be the impact receiver that the Cowboys or anyone wants him to be. He's going to be a number 4 guy. You bring him back for that role, I'm intrigued by it. But thinking he's going to be the change point of the offense, that one's just not going to go down. So I think that's kind of the difference there, Brian, in terms of how he's viewed versus how he actually produces. Colby Teague, he says, #Cowboys love the show. Thank you, Colby. I know you're subscribed, but for those of you watching out there that are not, youtube.com/chats or youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. Wow, butchered that one. youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. Hit that big red button and subscribe. We'll keep you covered all offseason long with all the latest around the Dallas Cowboys. Again, folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use that promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. Put down $50. They're going to give you $60 for free. You will not find a better betting deal out there than the one on BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. promo code Cowboys120. Another super chat coming in as well from Jordan Thomas. Thank you, Jordan. I know you are a loyal, long-time watcher. I appreciate that, my man. Thank you very much. Some more live Q&A here from Italian/Cowboy. He says that he loves Johnathan Abrams. Any chance you like him as well? If so, where does he go in the draft? I do like Johnathan Abram. He is a different type of safety than Savage because Abram, he's a hitter, man. He will fly down and lay out dudes. He got his spring game canceled because of how hard he hit one of his own teammates. Of course, it was, teammates because they're playing against each other, but whatever. I think he goes top 50. I don't think he's on the board for the Cowboys in round 2, unfortunately. Alan Crump again, with the receivers are on the roster already, and Stephen Jones saying that Hurns is an option at slot if they lose Cole. Could this be a defensive draft? I think it very well could be. And I'll make one note here on Allen Hurns as well. What you could see Hurns do, he is the insurance right now. He's not ready to come back, but if the Cowboys don't find a slot receiver in the draft, at least they have Hurns. And I kind of feel like that's what the Cowboys are doing right now with this offseason. They bring back Jason Witten just in case they need a tight end. They keep Allen Hurns just in case they need Hurns. They might sign a cheap defensive lineman just in case they don't get someone that they want in the draft. And it gets them the flexibility that they want to have this year in the NFL draft with no first-round pick. Kyle Clements, could we go after Mike Weber, the Ohio State running back? I'd say sure. I think he might be a better pro than he was at Ohio State because he didn't get super involved because J.K. Dobbins took a lot of his touches away. So I think Mike Weber could make sense for the Cowboys. Super chat again from my main man, Jordan Thomas. Jeremy Maclin as our slot receiver. You can sign him, but you cannot bank on him. He did not play last year. Remember, he was out with, there was a report that he was going to sign soon, and then he had a setback in his injury recovery. So you can bring him in, but don't bank on him being prime Eagles and Chiefs Maclin. That guy, he just doesn't exist anymore. NJ Fresh 23 says, what about Rocky Sin? I think he's a cornerback, by the way. I think that's what he plays in the NFL. But if you want to move Awuzie, Rocky Sin, first off, elite name, going to be successful with that type of name. I think will have a solid NFL career. If you want to move Awuzie to safety, put Sin at corner, I think that one could make some sense there. From Brayden, where do you stand on the Cowboys getting a back like Elijah Holyfield? It depends on the round. If he's there like round 5, round 7, sure. I was never really on board the Elijah Holyfield hype train. He wasn't the best back at Georgia last year. And the big concern for me as it relates to the Cowboys, you can't put Holyfield on the field on third downs. He's not a pass catcher. He's a featured back. He is a battering ram. So if you want to bring him in as your third back behind a Duke Johnson, that makes a lot of sense. But if you want to invest that way in a back right now, I'm not sure you want to if you're bringing on 2 different guys this offseason. William Pete, what safeties do you think will be targeting in free agency? Beyond Earl Thomas, here's what I think the Cowboys will do at safety. If they miss out on ET, they will wait. And they will play the waiting game, and they will see if there is a safety, probably not Adrian Amos, maybe a LaMarcus Joyner, potentially, that maybe doesn't find the market that they want, and their price tag goes down in a deep safety free agency crop. So if they don't get Earl Thomas at a discount, they wait for the initial wave of really high-priced guys to go by, and then they wait and see if someone comes down more into their price range. Maybe Eric Weddle could be fit there. We know the Cowboys wanted him last time around when he hit free agency. Jamie Echols, are we letting Rico go since Witten is back? Not right now because there's no reason to. For a player like Rico Gathers, who is on a very cheap contract, is on his first contract, you simply play the waiting game. You let him compete for a role in the preseason and training camp. And if he does really well, maybe you keep him. Maybe even trade him. If he sucks, then you just cut him then. And it gives you insurance right now for depth. Remember, right now in off-season, rosters are way higher. You don't have to cut guys just because you sign somebody else. You can keep Rico on the roster. You can keep all these different types of players available for the Cowboys. Rico fits that mold as a keep him for now. Maybe he gets cut later on in the offseason. All right, folks, type W if you guys are watching right now. Let producer Brett see it all. I know you guys are watching, paying attention. Let's see who's actually involved in the comments right now. So type W if you're watching. Hey, Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.